Hello and good evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I know I missed last week. We got really busy at work, but I hope you all join me. Um, I try to have my chart analyzing sessions um, every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 p.m. Uh, Eastern. So hopefully, you guys join me. And hopefully, you guys have been trading pretty well in my absence. Um, I know it's been a crazy period in the year, a lot of things happening. Um, so I hope everybody's been doing well. Okay, give me 1 second. Trying to make sure. Having a little bit of technical difficulties. Hope everybody's been trading well. It's been a crazy period in the year. Usually the first quarter, it's pretty rough. This year is even more rough. I feel like it's basically a perfect storm that's just brewing. Um, but let's go right into looking at the heat map, how I usually begin. So today, unexpected turn in the market. We actually started the day quite red, but finished off the day quite green. You can see here, basically everything but energy was green today. Right? A lot of green, the bright greens here. You see, so it could be a combination of everything going down for the last week and a half. Right? You see, almost 4%. Microsoft, Apple was 3%. Nvidia, huge green day, 7.7% up. Broadcom, almost 5%. Amazon too. And last week, the big news on Amazon was a 20-for-1 split too. So like Google, right? The two Googles here, they're doing a 20-for-1 split. Amazon's doing a 20-for-1 split. It's Facebook, right? Facebook was green today. Tesla, almost 5%. Home Depot, right? It's good to see all these stocks are green. But I don't think we're out of the woods yet, right? We're probably not out of the woods yet. So today is green, right? So jumping into SPY, looking at it. Right? I don't think we are out of the woods yet because this is the channel that we've been paying attention to. Right here. Right? even though it's green, we haven't broken out of this channel yet. All right, so the green that we see is still right in this channel, right in the middle of the channel. So you see the channels going down like this. All right, it's still not out of the woods yet. So, if we go back up, maybe we test this right here as resistance. So 430, around 430 resistance. Then maybe we could shoot back down to about 400. Right? And one of the indicators that I usually look at when it's a pretty unstable market is price, right? These candles being below the 200 and being below the 50. Right? Big indicators, strong indicators, because this is the daily chart, and usually that shows me that price is going to continue trending down. Right? There's not a lot of support out there. Right? So especially right here, and you see old support, right? Support has been showing about 420. Did peak a little bit below. You see here, huge buy up, right, from 420. Price did go below 420, but it peaked right above it again. Right, so 420. If that breaks, could probably take it down even more. But 420 is what we have to pay attention to. Probably short it if you want to short. Wait for it to approach around 430 before we short down. All right, so right here before we short down. So you set your stop somewhere up here. 420 is the support to break. All right. Dive down to our hourly. All right. 90 days. You can see the channel is even the channel that I redrew on the daily shows down on the hourly too. You can see how a price has just been bouncing in between. So as I was saying, what you want to pay attention to, especially for your shorts, is this right here. That's resistance. Right? Every time it approaches it gets rejected off of it, and you catch these swings downs. Right? So that's one swing. This is another. This was one. And maybe as it approaches it again right here, you can catch one. Right? So we're just looking for that. Right? See how apparent it is. Right? So around 4, if we trend up this way, so around 430, so right around this area, it's where we're thinking the top will be. Right? So far, this is what it's been showing. I drew it out too, been drawing it out, and let's see where it holds. It's very rare that SPY goes below the 200-day, but when it does, it's an opportunity. Shorter term traders, great opportunity to short. You longer term people like me, maybe below the 200, good chance to add, right? But we have to also look at the monthly also, right? Just to know how far we can go down. Because we just started, right? This is the last 2 years. So to 2020, going to 2022. right? All-time highs, and we just basically had a little drop here, right? So we still have more, right? To me, it's not the end of the world yet. It doesn't look like the end of the world. In comparison, this was 2008, 2009. So yes, we're higher up in terms of where the economy is, but we haven't had such a crazy drop. If anything, we're just if we were to compare, right, the comparison of this versus 2008, just the price action, we're still just in this right here, this little beginner piece, and it's gonna struggle for a little bit before we do eventually just crash, if there's a crash coming, you know. And it's not a question of will there be a crash, but what would you do when the crash comes, right? Or if a crash comes, right? So this was 2000, you can see. So in terms of 2008 versus 2000 versus now, right? I think we might be closer to 2000 right here. We're like probably in the beginning months of the first 4 months of it, right? Looking at it, 3 months of going down, and it could continue. But if anything tells you, you know, history could tell you one thing. You have to have a plan, right? This is the beginning of something. Maybe a beginning of a trend change to the downside, but it's not the end of the world. You can see here, it could last a few years, but eventually things do come back. You see here, right? 2000s, eventually they recover, right? To 2008, right? 2008 took it back down, but eventually even 2008, 2009, they recover too. This is on SPY. So you can see, given enough time, things do recover. So do have your plan in place. Okay. So that's SPY. All right. So this Jones set, right? So for now, pay attention to 430, 420. 420 breaks down, we could go even lower, but could be 430 be a good load up area for shorts. Let's take a look at Apple. Ooh, two A's. All right. So Apple, it's not taking as hard of a hit as most, but it is taking one. You can see the sharpness of its fall. Right? It's not as sharp as what we just saw on SPY. Right? Apple itself is not falling as hard. It is slowly, gradually falling, but nothing too crazy. Right, this is the channel. See, it's downward channel. We're almost at the bottom of that channel, right? If we think that. If we think that this is the channel that we pay attention to, so it's close to the bottom. So this bottom here, maybe if you take a long position, play the little bounce back to the upside. So it could go as high as 160. And at the moment, if you think this is bottom out, that it has bottomed out for the time being. Right here, right? You could set a stop somewhere down here. Safety is where the stop is down here, right? So you could set a stop somewhere down 140, right? Below 145, or you could set it at 146. Still good because you can see the bounce right here, right? And play the bounce to 160, right? Swing to the upside. But I want to see if we can have enough strength to break above 160. Right? So we look at the monthly also. Not even the monthly. We dive down to the hourly. Right? Witness the channel. So look at that. We bounce right off of the support. If you dive down to the hourly. See that? The channel. Top of the channel, resistance. Bottom of the channel, support. And boom, today. That was today. Right? Price action today. Right. Pretty good swing to the upside. 155, you can catch it. Maybe goes up to, looking at the hourly, maybe it could go up to 170. That might be pushing it. Say probably 165. Hard top. All right. So that's Apple daily. That's the channel, the Apple channel. Right here. Max about this sell. So go to 1. So see this. The channel is also showing, right, on the monthly. So in terms of just like the movement, right, the monthly chart still looks great. We haven't seen any. We've been seeing it fall, but yeah, it could go even further. You see how the chart is? Every time we have a huge climb like this, it likes to come back to the 50, this purple line. We're going back like 20 years. This is 20 years of data. 20 so years. It's a maximum, right? The max that they have on here. Right, going back to 86, 85. So Apple really caught on in like 2004. Here, you can see that. Yeah, it had a rough year here, 2008. It did go down to the 50, right? That was a good opportunity to pick it up. Here too, to 2012, 2013, right? 2016, right? So even if it goes down to here, 100, 105, or even 110, right? If this draws out, right, for the next few months, we'll probably catch it around 110. It's a good pickup. It's not unheard of. It'd be about 40, 50% drop from top, from this right here, right, to around here. Good pickup. If this line keeps going like this, it's gonna level out like this, right? So we meet it here. It's about 110. Be a good pickup. Be your opportunity for the next 10 years, right? So let's see how long let's take a look at how long it could recover. Every time it approaches the 50 until when it breaks above and goes higher, right? So from here, so to about the start of 2016, right, went to the 50s, and then if you bought at the absolute top, right, so about the beginning of 2017, that's one, right? Then it went even higher. If you bought at the bottom here, right, that's absolute return for you, right? It's about a year and a half there. Of course, we didn't have a war or some world conflict, some pandemic. So this, right, that's one. If we go back to 2008, take a look at that, right? 2008 was right here, right? If you bought the absolute top, 2008, right? Took you about 2010 is when it recovered. So it's about 2 years, right? 2008 to 2010. So this period right here. It's about 2 years before you recover, and it went higher, right? So no matter if you bought it absolute top or the bottom of it, you still have to wait a decent amount of time, right? About 2 years. I'm just saying this because there might be people who are long term like me, right? You just have to hold out, survive it through, right? Good quality stocks, right? Yeah, something that has a lot of data, right? So, Apple has data going back all the way to 85. It's probably, that's even before I was born. I was born in 91 here. So Apple was before me, right? I wasn't even on this earth in this point right here. But you can see how much it has grown. Right? So that's Apple. Still a very good stock. And if it does go back to its 50 monthly, definitely count me in. Right? Beg, borrow, and steal for it. Beg, borrow, and steal for Apple. Okay. So AMD, let's take a look at AMD. AMD's been sideways, but these sideways stocks, that don't count them out yet because they were runners. They were previous runners. Right? Don't count them out. Just because a good stock has a few years where they don't really go well, right? We don't just, it's not the end of the world for them. Right? So that's, let me fix this. I think the channel, even though the price has been like moving this way, right? I think the channel covers it better if we close it, like the gap, like right here. So we did have some times where it did peak above it right here, because it gives you more points, right? So if you do the channel like this, where you hold it this point, right? Basically, this right here gets like left out, and then if you do it from the absolute bottom, this, right? You got a bigger channel, but you don't. This doesn't give you too many actionable points, so that's why I would like to move this channel and closer so we get more support and resistance, right? And we chalk up the access to the top and access to the bottom as altitudes that happen in this channel, right? So because you see this channel, it can capture more, right? So this was like right here was the bottom of the channel. This is actually the bottom right here. If you got it, if you can get as close to the bottom, you catch it to the top, right? So this is drunk set blink, right? We add that, you see, it captures the last 4 months very well. You add it here, the last week. See this right here? Maximize this. This is the channel we drew on the daily first. Shows it on the weekly, right? So that's a true channel. We've seen it on multiple time charts. It's not just one where you draw on one and it doesn't pair on any of them, right? Look at that, right? So if this is AMD, if AMD comes back to its 50 at 70, still that's a pickup. That's a great pickup, right? Because AMD hasn't really, it's been hot since about 2016, right? But it was having some issues from before, right? It didn't start getting hot until 2016. There was some periods in the 2000s and stuff, but it didn't really catch on until like 2016. So this is like the first real test to see if it can survive. I think it will. AMD is a lot. There's a lot of places using AMD chipsets right now. Still a good company. They're doing this channel right here, right at the bottom. See if it can catch up, break above at the top, and eventually, you just see a day where it never comes back anymore. It never touches those lows, and it'll do the same thing. It'll do the same thing as this, right? It's not going to just be all sun, going to the upside and never return, right? It'll do the same thing coming back down. You can see here when it was trending. Back when it was trending, it gave you opportunities to get in, right? Right here, right? Opportunities here, right here. Well, you probably didn't know that it was going to go like this. So that was an opportunity. That was an opportunity. So lots of opportunities. You just got to see them, right? So since it's going down, it's still following this trend, this channel here. We want it to break here, right? Dive down to the hourly. Look at this. It's still following this channel, right? It did bleed through an opportunity there. Did to break above an opportunity there, but for the most part, the reason why I drew it like I did, and the reasoning behind it was because it captures more of the price action, right? Even though we did have sometimes a bleed to the bottom, bleed to the upside, you want the bulk of the action to be coverable, because then it gives you more actionable points, right? If you're looking like to long, you'll be looking at these areas, right? But if you're looking to short, you'll be looking for areas like this, or even here. But right, but your best risk to reward is when it's as close to this line, right? Shorting is as close to this top line, right? This resistance lines, or closest to this bottom line for long, right? This is if you're like a short-term trader, right? The hourly. So you're seeing your opportunities, and you're seeing the charts. You're seeing the price action. You're letting the trade come to you, right? Think of it like being a fisherman, right? You might have the best fishing pole, or you might have the best bait, but it doesn't guarantee you the fish unless the fish comes to you. So you have to think of it that way, right? So in trading, you wait for the trade to come to you. Right now, it's right in the middle. You see that? The right in the middle of this channel. So AMD is not really good for long or not really good for short positions at the moment. It's right in the middle. What are you going to do? You're going to capture this little upside, or you're going to capture this little downside, right? Let it come to the bottom before you get in to bounce it to the top, right? You get that full move, or catch it at the top and get it back to the bottom, right? It back down to the bottom. It's a better move. And you can set a stop like right here, just right outside, right? Right outside of that range. If you get it right in the middle, where you're gonna say stop? You're gonna say stop up here or down here. That's a huge gap right here. But if you catch it at the bottom and the top, look at how much smaller those your risk is, right? Your stops are. Okay, so AMD. So for long-term people, hold it out. This year is gonna be rough. It's not a year where you're counting money. It's a year where you're waiting patiently for opportunities to get in, right? Opportunities to buy in, or you're slowly scaling it. If you're a person who don't really have too much time to do anything, right? Maybe you're slowly getting in, right? Slowly averaging down, because long term, if you already know it's a good stock, you just have to wait it out, right? The next 5 years, maybe it takes like another only a year and a half for it to recover, or maybe it takes 2 years for it to recover and breaks new high. You don't know. Nobody knows. So let's hold out, right? Be able to hold out. That is also a good plan. You don't have to be consistently in the market, right? I'm not consistently in the market, but I'm consistently looking at the market, looking for my opportunities, looking for my spots, setting my alerts. Okay, So let's also look at Nvidia. Nvidia was up 7.7%, right? Doesn't mean it's out of the woods. It just means that right? It just means that it bounced from support. So you see this line right here. Let me draw. So I think all of these stocks they're gonna have this channel, right? Same channel, almost the same channel, right? It could be a good time to short. You see that? The top of the channel. It's literally sitting at the top of a channel. Right? If you think the market is going to continue to the downside, right? It's literally just hugging that resistance, right? If you think that it's a good shorting opportunity, it's literally right at the resistance line. It's right here, right? So basically, what you could do is you could set a stop like right here, just right here. And so that right there is for 235. So you set a stop at 235, right? And you get a position right now. So 235, your entry, that's your stop, right? Entry is about 230, right? So $5 risk, right? For potential for a drop like that, right? At 160, right? To get out at 160, that's a short, right? So you got $30 to 200, and then another $40. So about $70 drop, right? A $70 drop on Nvidia. That's a pretty good risk to reward. $5 for a $70 return, right? So let's do that math on that, right? So this is your stop, 235. This is your entry, 230, and this is your target, right? 160. So let's pull out the calculator. Let's do that math on there, right? So for $5 risk, right? Right, so $5 risk, and you can get from 230. So 230 minus 160, right? So $70, right? So $70 divided by 5. So that's 14x. That's a 14x trade, right? So this right here is 14x, right? You're trading 1x, where x is equal to $5 for 14x, right? So how is this a bad trade? The opportunity is there, right? So it's a 14x trade right here. You might not get it just tomorrow. You probably have to wait a few days for it, but 14x or $5, right? That's pretty good. That's pretty good trade, right? Let's dive down to the hourly, right? I keep going to that 20 days. I need to go to 990. Look at that channel. A channel is there. Talk about just having the trade come to literally just dying. Look at that. Right at the top. You can see it. You can set a stop like right here. Right here for above here for safety. Or if you see that, hey, it was struggling right here, you can set, you get in, you set a stop like just right here. Right? This above here will be part of your best bet to stay in the position long. Right? But man, look at that. Look at this. Look at the channel. Look at the movement. And you're just playing the movement, right? Maybe you're playing for something like that, right? This move right here. You got in with a stopper up above here, right? Let's see. right? So that was from 313 to about 220. Right? It's up almost $100. Right? Almost $100 trade. One just on AMD. Oh, not AMD, Nvidia. Right? Since it's just hugging that resistance line. And you think the news is gonna be good? I don't think so. Right? So the odds is in your favor. Right? Good little trade. Good little find right here too. Something you can take action on tomorrow. The week is still young. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Right? Right here. Actionable trade. Right? We don't just look at setup for no reason. This is an actionable trade right here. Right? The setup is there. Right? This is a good short right here. Right? Nvidia. Good short. But let's take a look at the monthly, right? For long term people like me. I know I look at the short term stuff too, but I still like to look at the long term because if I can hold, I prefer to hold. Right? Look how beautiful this chart is. Right? Look how beautiful the chart is. Right? Yeah. It took out a hit here. And if it gets hit here, this is the opportunity to look for. Right? But you can see these wicks here, right? These wicks, this is on the monthly chart, right? These giant wicks to the upside. Even though these are red candles, giant wicks to the upside, right? That's what I look for. Maybe it's signaling that this is bottom right here, 220, right? 220, maybe 200, right? Signaling that that could be bottom. We don't know for sure, but it could fall. It could go back and touch this 50, right? The 50 moving average is purple line. If it did, 130, it's a great pickup, right? I still have my positions from all the way back here, so 130 is just basically taking me back to zero. But man, that's still a good ad. Heck, I'll be adding. That would be a blessing for me. Right? But this is a good ad. This is a good find right here for a swing trade to the downside. Right? If that thing comes down, right? This right here to 160, maybe down to 155 if you're lucky. Right? It's a good find. Okay. So let's take a look at Lockheed. One stock that's been doing the opposite of everything. Everything's been going down. Lockheed has been going up. Right? Because war. So this stock is definitely slowed down. So this could be a good area to get in, right? So you can see the trend here. The trend has been up, right? Since the beginning of the year, right? Since the beginning of the year, it's just been going up, right? It's not exactly this slope, but you can see this is an uptrend for the stock. So, but you've seen a slowdown. You've seen some sort of support at this 440 level, right? It's not exactly a 440, but you can see it's doing this, right? And this is a definition of a bull flag, right? Bull flag, it does this, right? So you can see it's getting tighter, right? If you can get at 440, that'll be your best bet. Your best bet right there to get it 440. But if not, it's still good hold too, right? And say you stop somewhere right below here. Well, you saw it bleed through here a little bit, so you could set stop right here. So 440, right? So for 430, right? And so 430, and then upside it could be it can go all the way up to this right here, test the all-time highs of 480, right? So 430. So if you get in at 450, right? So just blindly 450 tomorrow, your entry. This is your entry and your stop, right? So 430 is your stop, right? So that's right there. That's $20, right? $20 for a shot at 180, 480 target. Right. So $20 risk, right? For a potential from 450 to 480, so $30 too. So about 1.5, right? So 1.5x. Not bad. There's better things out there, but not bad because definitely because there is strength to the upside. So you're not probably just limited to 480, right? The ceiling is not just 480. It did touch 480 as the high, but since this stock has been running, right? The stock has been running. 480 might not be the highest it could go to. Maybe it can break 480, maybe 490, right? So then that puts it at 2x, right? So it becomes a 2x trade, which it's not bad. You could become a successful trader just taking 2x targets. You know, you don't have to aim for like 10x, 5x, or anything. Just 2x will make you profitable, right? Right. So right here, this setup is a 1.5x right here, right? So we can look at some, and because it's trending to the upside, I don't think 480 is the highest it can go, right? Probably go to 490. Maybe if we're lucky, it goes to 500. If there's a lot of strength, yeah, everything gets sour, super sour, right? You know, the perfect storm that this year has caused. Maybe if it just continues to go even worse, right? This year just becomes even worse. This thing could just take off again, right? But for long-term investors, right, I don't think it's a good time yet to add this. Right? Long-term investors, you want it when it's a really good price. Right? You want it down when it's beaten, right? Down here by its 50s. We missed this chance. But this is why we are trading it instead of just looking for investments in it. Right? But like anything, we just want to look for the opportunities that are presenting itself. Right? So let's look at one more. Small cap that keeps getting beaten up. Palantir. You would think that since Palantir is dabbing a little bit in self-defense too, that they will be up. You know, they're holding, but man, they keep getting beaten up. And this is a really new stock too. So this is, in the grand scheme of things, this is just a little blimp in it. It's on close to its, basically close to its IPO price. So good time to buy in if you didn't get in and you're looking for some sort of investment, right? The hype is for sure gone over it. So it's good to get in for, if you're thinking like an investor, you want to get in when the hype is sort of not there and wait for the next hype, right? That's Palantir. Right? Not much to look at. Everything it's being beaten down right now. Right. So, right. Let's. So again, to reiterate, everything is still right now. SPY is still in the middle of the channel, right? Middle of the channel. Even though today was a green day, it's still right in the middle of the channel. So don't really take a stab at it. If you need to, right, you need to trade, don't feel like you need to trade all the time, but if you feel like you need to trade, maybe dive down to the hours, right? But it's still in the middle of the channel. You're not safe to the upside, you're not safe to the downside, right? So it's not just SPY, all the big techs are like that too, right? The channels that we drew today to recap all of the stocks that we looked at, right? The channel here on SPY, we're in the middle of the channel, nothing to take any action on. Apple's looking at like it's close to the bottom, so you could slowly start to dab into getting some call positions or some long positions just to catch it to the upside. But you do know that the upside is limited because it is still in the channel. Upside limitation probably 160. Right now, it's today as a close is sitting at 155. So 160, that's $5, and you're taking a stop loss if it goes below 480. Oh no, 148. I mean, right? And then AMD is middle of the channel too. Well, actually, yeah, middle of the channel because of today's price action, but it was at the bottom yesterday and a few days ago, right here. So it's middle of the channel right now, to the upside. Maybe it goes to as high as 115 before it shoots back down, but still in the channel, still in this downward channel. So watch it. And then there is Nvidia. Nvidia had huge green action today, but it's sitting at the top of that resistance, and it's been riding that resistance for the last about the last month. So it could, if it comes back down, right, it's a good time to maybe take a stab at shorts, right? Right, the resistance level, really good risk to reward right here. In at 230. I'll take a stop if it goes above 235, maybe 240 if you want to risk a lot more money, but try to take it down to 160 if you can, right? And this trade right here, this opportunity from 230 to 160, right, is a 14x trade, right? Swing trade 14x. Right? $5 risk if you're doing it at for getting in at 230 and out at 235. It's a $10 risk if you're getting in at 230 and out at 240. Right? But take it down to here, the support, right? Catch the swing like this, right? And Lockheed to the upside, good potential, right? Set a stop at 430, or yeah, just below 430 here. Get you to the upside, right? So right now it's at 450. 430 will put you at a $20 risk in the position, and try to catch it going to 480. Since it's been trending up, maybe it could break 480, right? Go to 490 if we're lucky. There's a lot of strength. So these are the stocks that we looked over, right? Just quick overview of everything. But all right, I want to thank everybody who joined me tonight. Hopefully this has been educational. Hopefully it gave you some opportunities and things to look at. And if you do like these sessions, please share them with your friends. I am looking to, hopefully reach more people. Maybe they get them started on trading and stocks and investing and just basically personal finance, right? So thank you, everybody. Stay safe. There's a lot of opportunities out there, but this year has been totally the perfect storm that's been coming. Take it as a blessing, take it as a curse, take it as however, but stay safe in it. It's your money, so be in charge of it. With that, signing out. Have a good night, everybody. Bye bye.